Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And as I'm recording this, it is just gone past 11 o'clock in the evening. And I've only just noticed it. It's been up for about an hour, but for some reason I didn't click on it earlier. However, kind of slightly late breaking news, but breaking news. Lorna Slater is to face a vote of no confidence. People have finally given up any hope that she'll ever do anything good. She has been completely useless in what she's done. She's blamed everyone rather than herself for her own stupidity and inability to do her job. And people have quite rightly said, enough's enough. You've got no business being in government. And so the Scottish Tories have submitted a confidence vote at Holyrood, and it's been supported. And so there will be a vote, and she could be out. Out, finally. I say that finally. I mean, I love doing videos about her. She is excellent. She's comedy gold, isn't she? She's just something that every day you open up and go, I wonder what Lorna's done today, you know. But here we go. We're going to have a quick look at this. But it looks like she's going to be voted on and voted out, because there's a lot of people in the SNP who want her out. So this will be one of those that, they'll try and whip this because they don't want to be seen to be going anti-Green. And so it's going to be a very difficult vote for Humza Yousaf, because does he back her? Because he hasn't fired her yet, because he daren't fire her because he needs the Greens. On the other hand, the Greens will say, if you don't whip your SNP to retainer, we'll walk. On the other hand, there's a lot of people who've been very vociferous about this particular moron, for the want of it. And so he may have a problem. He may have a major problem in whipping the party into supporting her, because she has been utterly, utterly useless. Anyway, we'll go down and have a look at this story right now. So, Lorna Slater to face a vote of no confidence amid shambolic performances as minister. I think that's most unfair. She hasn't even achieved the rank of shambolic. It's been far worse than that. The Scottish Greens will face a vote of no confidence at Holyrood after the Scottish Tories submitted one, and it was supported by 25 MSPs. And that's more than there are Tories. So there's a lot of people there that are quite eager to get her out that door. Well then, you wouldn't be looking to keep her, would you? I mean, if you were in charge of any business and you had her employed by you, she'd have been down the road a long time ago. Anyway, Lorna Slater faces a brutal vote of no confidence at Holyrood after a motion was submitted and backed by MSPs. It comes amid her shambolic performances as the minister in charge of the delayed deposit return scheme. Delayed because she couldn't do her job. Delayed because she wouldn't put the paperwork in. Delayed because the paperwork she did put in wasn't complete and had no impact statements. She didn't listen to experts. She didn't listen to the people who actually were administering the scheme. She didn't even listen to other people within her own party, because the arrogance and the hubris of this Canadian woman knows no bounds. And now she's likely to be out. It is delicious. Anyway, the Scottish Greens co-leader is part of Humza Yousaf's government due to the Butte House Agreement, and is the Minister for Circular Economy, Green Skills and Biodiversity. But she has made numerous claims about the recycling initiative, including promising it would go ahead in both August and March next year before it was axed until 2025, because she couldn't run a whelk stall. Everyone kept saying, you don't need to have glass in there. Oh no, I've got to have glass in there. Or, because I know best. Anyway, Scottish Tory MSPs submitted the motion of no confidence due to her performance, and got enough support to allow it to be debated at the Scottish Parliament. On Monday evening, Liam Kerr published the motion. It reads, and this is cracking really, that the Parliament has no confidence in the Minister for Green Skills, Circular Economy and Biodiversity in light of the failure of the proposed Scottish Deposit Return Scheme. See, there we go. So he's just basically putting it on that. But of course, it's not just that. It's everything. She can't communicate. She always has notes. Because whoever's writing her and controlling her has to put it on pieces of paper because she's incapable of memorising it. So she can't stand and give like a forthright speech without referring to just reading a script. Not even referring to notes, but reading a script. You know, religiously. She doesn't understand what she's talking about. And you see it, and then you ask her a question. And it's just the old, you know, rabbit in the headlight thing because she cannot comprehend. I don't know the answer to that question. I'll just carry on reading. Useless. Anyway, if a no confidence motion gets support from 25 MSPs, as this motion has, the Parliamentary Bureau schedules it for a debate and a vote. And this could be pretty damn bad. It's going to be a story that's going to break, and there's going to be more to come on this. But I just thought I'd get this out and, you know, get it to you because it's so big. Anyway, the motion thus far has been supported by Jeremy Balfour, Miles Briggs, Alexander Burnett, Donald Cameron, Jackson Carlaw, Findlay Carson, Sharon Downey, Russell Findlay, Murdo Fraser, Megan Gallagher, oh she would always do it, Maurice Golden, Pam Gozal, Jamie Green, Dr. Sandesh Gillane, oh Uncle Tom Cobley and all, you know, every single one of them. Anyway, Miss Slater has also faced massive criticism from the SNP because even with people with whom she's sharing government, can't stand her. They know, they see through her. They know that she's a moron. Veteran MSP Fergus Ewing urging his party to end the Butte House Agreement due to the Greens positioning on topics such as the A9. And it remains to be seen if he will vote against the government, and he probably will because he can't stand her. Now the thing is, when you look at all the failures that this government has had, it's all been generated from the Greens. Because you've got the bottle deposit return scheme, Greens. You have the A9, blah, 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 objections, Greens. You've had the gender bill, the Greens. It's because the SNP haven't got a clue. They've got no ideas of their own. The only ideas that are coming up are useless ones for the Greens, but the SNP are going, oh yes, a bloody idea, we'll do that, make it look as though we're doing something. They're a party, the SNP, are a party that's been in power too long, and it hasn't got a clue what to do. Anyway, there was also a huge backlash when she hired a £1,200 boat to visit the Isle of Rum last month to discuss the future of Kinloch Castle. She refused to use her own government's ailing ferry service with a return ticket that only cost £9.40. Yeah, it's £4.70 each way, £9.40 return. She spent £1,200 of public money because she's special. Doesn't really hang around with us ordinary people, does she? Anyway, the Scottish Greens called the vote a cynical and shameless political stunt by an increasingly desperate party. Oh, you want stunts by increasingly desperate parties? You need to look in a mirror. Anyway, Green co-leader Tiny Patrick Harvey said Lorna has been at the forefront of delivering a fairer, greener and better Scotland. No, she hasn't. She's been at the forefront of achieving nothing and doing nothing but dragging the whole of Scotland into disrepute with every single thing she's done. She's overseen a record investment in wildlife and nature and an end to new incineration and a ban on the worst single-use plastics. She's always put Scotland first. None of that's true, you know. None of that. That's all lies. Patrick Harvey, liar. Lies. Anyway, he said, I'm proud to work with Lorna in her capacity as party co-leader and a minister. The politics that she represents are everything that the Tories rail against, so it's no wonder that they are attacking her in the spiteful and often misogynistic way as they have done for months. Of course, you have to go with misogynistic. Not that they don't give a shit that she's a woman, but because she's a woman, it gives you, we can use the misogynistic thing. If she was black, it'd be racist thing, you know. Yes, because you've got to do that. You've got to shoehorn that in somehow, because you've got no argument. It isn't the Tories that were spending £1,200 on a boat. It isn't the Tories that cancelled the DRS, even though everyone said, go without glass. It wasn't the Tories that were trying to push down a gender bill down people's throats against the settled will of the people of Scotland. It's all the Greens. So cut the crap. Anyway, he said only the Tories would have the audacity to move a motion. That's my dog barking, you can hear in the background. Even he's excited by this vote. Barnsley, oi. Anyway, only the Tories would have the audacity to move a motion of no confidence in the leader of another party on the very same evening that MPs were voting to seal the fate of their lying, duplicitous and shamed former Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Yeah, but you can't attach one to the other. I mean, he's quite right. He is a lying, duplicitous, serial adulterer. But you cannot say, oh, you can't do this, and you can't because you've got one doesn't mean that we don't. Don't try and connect the two. The fact is, yes, Boris Johnson is a terrible man, but it doesn't stop her being completely useless, does it? Which she is. Anyway, they're going to have the debate and they're going to have the vote, and it's just now a question of how many SNP members vote to get her out and have no confidence in her, because there's quite a few. And one of the other things, and this is where I think the problem may lie for her, is that there's a lot of MSPs up in the northeast, Aberdeen, all around there, that may well want her out because she's anti-oil. And then there's a lot of people with coastal constituencies who may want her out because of the fishing grounds thing with the hyper protection that she wants to put on. There's no guarantee, like I say, that Humza Yousaf can guarantee she wins the vote. I think there's enough SNP members in there that will vote with the Tories, with some Labour. Labour will go for it. Labour will take a scalp. Labour will hold their nose and vote with the Tories because it weakens Humza Yousaf. And Labour knows if they can weaken Humza Yousaf, they can show the SNPs weaker and weaker. It increases their momentum to take the majority at the next Scottish election and certainly at the next general election. And so Labour will vote with the Tories. The Lib Dems will probably vote with the Tories. In fact, they'll all do it, and even some, and I reckon quite a lot more than perhaps anyone thinks, of the SNP will do it. This will have two effects. One, she's gone. Secondly, it will end the Butte House Agreement, and you're going to have the SNP in a minority government. It's going to be fantastic. I'm certainly going to report it. I am going to be watching the skies and just going to see what the hell's going to happen, because there will be fireworks on this. So do please, if you haven't yet subscribed, do subscribe. Stick with this story. We'll follow it all the way through to the grim end, one way or the other. I mean, we know what we want, but we'll see whichever way it goes. It's not set in stone yet, but we'll have a look at it. Anyway, I'm going to come up and we'll finish this video. Yeah, I mean, news was completely out the blue. I mean, I was just sitting, I was watching something else, and all of a sudden I got a little ping from one of you good viewers. Basically, it was a message come up, and I was sort of scrolling through, and somebody put a message up saying, "Did you know this?" So you know who it is. I'm not going to name no names because I don't do names unless you want it and all that. I don't know if you wanted it, but you know who it was. So thank you very much. Put me straight onto it. Didn't know it had happened. So I went straight up, turned on the computer here. I went, oh my god, have you seen that? And then of course, have to do the video. Immediately have to do the video. So there we go. So I will, like I say, I will follow this. So we'll call it there. But it is going to be an ongoing breaking news story. And as soon as anything happens, obviously I'm going to be straight on it. We'll get the video out and we'll go boom and I'll be there. So prepare for the latest in the story of Lorna Slater and her fall from grace. May it be quick but long. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, do please hit the subscribe button. Actually do, because you want to follow this story. Ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, which will be in a few hours' time at this rate, I will bid you good evening. Thank you for watching and goodbye.